Welcome to Cherry Blossom Yoga. I'm Robin Dinerman, and this is a half-hour Hatha Yoga class for beginning and continuing students. When I have new students, I like to tell them what I hope to achieve or give to them through the teaching of yoga. And sometimes it's a good idea to remind my long-term students why they're in class with me. The purpose of my class is to help you become more aware of the body-mind connection, to become more aware of how the body influences the mind and how the mind influences the body. And through the techniques of yoga, the postures, asanas, the coordinated stretching, deep abdominal breathing, you're able to quiet the mind, relax the body, and find balance, not only in your physical body, but in your mental and spiritual body as well. If this is your first time, do what you can or just watch the show. You can always re-watch it either on YouTube or at the station at MMCTV.org, Montgomery Municipal Cable TV.org, and look for Cherry Blossom Yoga. We're going to start in the basic standing position, Tadasana, the mountain pose. Feet about hip distance apart, arms alongside of you, palms turned inward. Now close your eyes and picture your shoulders and shoulders above hips, hips above knees, and knees above ankles, so that gravity is pulling down evenly through all the joints. Now bring your attention to the tip of your nose and pull the air up your nostrils, down your throat, let it fill your lungs. Imagine your body filling in all directions, the lungs moving forward, sideways, up and down. As your lungs fill with air and your blood is reoxygenated. Let a small smile form at the corners of your mouth. And breathe deeply. Inhale through the nose, exhale either through the nose or through the mouth. To begin with, let's bring the fingertips to the shoulders, lift the elbows up as high as the shoulders, and bring the elbows together, lightly pressing if you can. Inhale and open. Bring the elbows back, allow the chest to expand, and exhale. Now tighten your belly muscles. That helps push the diaphragm up against the lower lobes of the lungs and helps you to expel all the old stale air in your lungs. Inhaling and exhaling. Now draw a circle in the air with your elbows, coming together, lifting up, coming back, and as you go down, come together and inhale up, exhale down, and come together. To warm up the shoulders, to get the circulation going, your upper body. And let's reverse the direction. Exhaling, now lifting up, inhale, and a long exhalation down. Opening, inhaling, closing, and exhaling. And bring the palms together, loosely interlace the fingers, lower the hands in front of you. Bring your elbows in towards your hips and lift your sternum, your breastbone. Inhale, bringing the hands up over your head, and exhale and lower. And repeat again. You may notice that now your breath is a little deeper than when you began. Maybe your heart is beginning to slow down. Try to keep your mind on your body and on your breath. One more time up. Turn the palms up and press against the ceiling or the sky. Deep breath, and then exhaling, release the hands, let the arms come down. And pause and breathe. We'll do a standing cat stretch to help warm up the muscles around the spinal column and stretch the spinal cords. So we're going to stand with the feet about hip distance apart. I have my index fingers forward, my thumbs at the hip hinge. I'm going to sink my seat down, but look ahead about 10 or 15 feet. So you're not dropping your chin, at least not yet. So breathe in and out. And out. So breathe in, drop the seat a little more, let the shoulders sink, and then exhaling, tighten the buttocks, tuck the tailbone under, press the jaw against the upper chest. And inhale, straighten, looking ahead, across the floor. And exhale, arch, tucking in. You can roll the shoulders in a bit and then bring them back into position and look ahead. You may even feel that this is generating some warmth throughout your body. Then straighten your legs for a moment. You can shake your feet out. Come back into hip distance apart. Again, index fingers forward, thumbs wrap around. Back is straight, looking forward. So we're going to loosely interlace the fingers and place the hands lightly on top of the thighs, and this is a really simple movement that lubricates the joints of the knees and the ankles. So we're dropping the seat and then straightening the knees. You don't need to push your hips or seat back. Check your shoulders, see if they're rolling forward or dropping forward. You can move your elbows back a bit. So I'm not moving my head. Neck is long and straight. Now another version of this helps optimize the functioning of the thyroid gland. It's called a lock. So you breathe in, press your jaw down. So this is the lock, and you hold your breath and release. Breathe in, hold breath, press, and release. We'll try that again, and there'll be some movement this time. Breathe in, lock, hinge forward, so you hold your breath as long as you're able. If you start feeling dizzy, please breathe. So it begins with breathing in, holding the breath, locking the jaw down so you're pressing into the thyroid gland, hinging forward. Okay, breathe in. And breathe normally. We're going to do some more forward bending from the hip area, and standing with your feet about hip distance apart. Turn the toes out to the right. Bring the left foot, so this is my right foot turning out. Left foot is pointed forward. And we're going to bring my hands behind me. You can let your arms hang if you're unsure of doing this. In fact, let's do it this way first. And just come down. Keep a little looseness in your knees. They won't be perfectly straight, and then you can let your head hang. And breathe. The distance widthwise between the 2 feet is, again, hip distance. So for many people, that's about 5-6 inches or so. And we're going to come up. You can either uncurl coming up or lift the back of your neck, press down harder with the back foot, bring the arms out, draw the shoulders away from the ears, press upward, and bring the hands to the heart. And release the arms, take a step forward. And walk back to your original place. Left foot turns out slightly, right foot comes forward. Square your hips to the end of your mat and come down. And slowly release the head. Keep a little softness in the knees. And if you're using your fingers to help support you, just as you relax in the pose, you can let go a little bit, come down, and then let the head hang. Coming out of the pose, slowly lift the back of the neck, lengthen the spine, pressing down through both feet, either uncurl upward or come up, arms straight out, and bring the hands to the heart. And pause and breathe. And you can repeat what we just did, or you can place both hands behind you. So right foot turned out, left foot forward, square to the end of the mat, hinge forward, coming down as much as you can, then release the head. And then if you feel that you're able, you lift the arms up. You don't need to overdo this lifting. But think about centering yourself. Now you can come up by releasing the hands and uncurling upward, or remaining in this position. Come up, look ahead. Now try to draw the elbows together. Take a deep breath, yoga mudra. Feel the lifting, the great expansion of the chest. And release. Release the arms and take a step forward and breathe. And to repeat on the other side, this time with the left foot turned out, right foot forward. You can let your arms hang as we did, or hands behind you. You can begin rolling the shoulders back, squeezing the blades in. Take your breath and exhale and come forward as far as you're able. And then if you like, you can lift the hands up. Relax the neck. Think about being centered and breathing. Coming out of the posture, you can release the hands. You can let the arms hang or bring them out in T position, or remaining with the hands clasped behind you. Come up. Draw the elbows together. Deep breath in. And then release, release, and take a step forward. Now let your mind travel through your body. Notice how you feel now. Perhaps your muscles are a bit warmed up. Maybe you feel energized. Maybe you feel more relaxed or more alert. We're going to take a short break. We'll return to Cherry Blossom Yoga in just a moment. Please join us on the floor.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. You can do it here. But I get it, you're busy, and busy people can't have prediabetes. I read that wrong. They can, okay? Just go to the site.
Welcome back to Cherry Blossom Yoga. If you can, come join me on the floor, or if you're seated, that's fine. Join along with the breathing and some of the arm and leg movements as best you're able. In my classes, usually when we transition to the floor, we go into what I call egg posture. A lot of people call it child, but the way I was taught 40 years ago was that if your head is turned to the side, one side or the other, then it's called child posture, but I'm very old school. So to come into this posture, I start with my knees about hip distance apart, my ankles turned outwards so my big toes are touching. And then I pull back, folding over, and then you drape an arm around each side and let your head hang. Now, a lot of people, we have to modify the pose. So I suggest that you try it with the knees separated and maybe come down like so. Make a fist pillow. Let your forehead sink down. This is very relaxing too. Sometimes people need to put a rolled towel, right here underneath the thigh, between the thigh and the ankle. That helps. Everybody's different. So the point is to get tucked in, and it's a pose for meditation and relaxation. I find it to be a good transitional pose. So I'm folded over, arms draped around, my head hanging, and breathing. And lifting your head, extend both arms out forward and walk one hand after the other, pressing your finger pads into the mat, pulling your hips away from the shoulders. And let the hands slide back, come up into table pose. Inner elbows face each other, back of the neck is lifted, and breathe in. Exhaling, now this is your regular cat stretch. Buttocks tucked under, and here you've got that lock, that jaw pressing up into the chest or the chin to the chest. And inhale and lengthen. Exhaling and arching. Inhaling and lengthening. And you don't need to do the chin lock, but I like to do it. And lengthen. Come into a seated posture. Feet about hip distance apart, toes turned upward. The feet don't have to be flexed exactly. We're just going to walk the hands forward. And then come back and lean back just a little bit, tightening the belly muscles, letting the arms relax. Take a breath in. And hold. You can even bring the elbows back and lift the heels up. You have to really tighten the quadriceps, tighten your belly muscles, and then I'm going to relax my jaw and release. Come forward. I like to reach my toes, but if you can only go to your ankles or your shins, whatever, but try to keep your back straight and look ahead. This will stretch out the backs of the legs and also the lower back area. And release, come down to the floor. And bring both knees in, pressing your knees in and releasing. Rock a bit from side to side. Then arms to the floor and ride your bicycle. And reverse. Knees in again, wrap the arms around, pull the belly down to the floor. Again, lock the chin in, hold your breath. Raise both arms up. And release. Place the feet down. Push your feet into the mat, roll over onto your side, and rest your head on your arm. Bring the knees in close. Using your top hand, press the floor away. Walk your hands back to your body. Return to a seated position. I hope you're feeling wonderful. You can carry that feeling with you into your day, into your week, and into your life. Namaste.
I'm a veteran. We hit a mine in Vietnam. When I came home, I didn't know where to turn.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
My victory's been never giving up hope. My wife is always there to remind me we have a life to live.
DAV provides a lifetime of support, helping veterans of every generation get the benefits they've earned.
I am a veteran, but after I got out, I spent 2 years alone and homeless.
Every year, DAV helps more than 1 million veterans so they can reach victories great and small.
My victory was finding the support to get back on my feet. Now I'm getting things right with my family.
I finally admitted, with my PTSD, I wasn't doing well.
But there's more to be done and more victories to be won.
Now I wish I'd found DAV sooner. I am a veteran. My victory is just enjoying each day.
Help support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.